Welcome to the D2D Show. I'm Steve Dahl, your guest, the president of D2D Technologies, and today we have with us Cindy Zuelsdorf with Kokoro Marketing. Just a little bit about Cindy. She grew up in one of the highest pressure environments, broadcast television, in an industry fueled by high-touch, face-to-face relationships. She cut her teeth selling tech to companies ranging from NBC to NASA. After decades learning things the old school way, discovered sales and marketing automation and began using these new systems for repeatability and success. And today, Cindy and her company Kokoro, they're helping small and medium-sized high-tech businesses do the same. Their specialty is in combining that rare skill of taking scattered technical platforms and transforming them into a cohesive, finely tuned, time-saving, revenue-generating engine, all while keeping the human-to-human touch approach intact. And Cindy is also a best-selling author. Her book, Seven Marketing Basics, recently hit #1 on Amazon's marketing for small business category. Welcome to the show, Cindy.
Hey, Steve.
Yes,
Good to see you.
good to see you as well. Yeah, you've been in this marketing career for quite a while. So what drew you to marketing?
Oh, well, I really like the piece that marketing can be just thought of as sales written down in a way. And my friend Wes said that. And I think it's so true, is it seems like marketing is really just communication. And so lots of times when I get to work with you or other people, the conversation is like, oh, I don't know what to do with my marketing. Well, tell me about the last three conversations you had with people, because let's start with that. So I like the communication bit on marketing.
That's great. And it's yeah, myself as well. I really think the business is really all about the relationships. That's kind of yeah, I really like that aspect of it. And actually here at D2D, we've used Kokoro before and we really enjoyed it. And I'd say one of the best things about Kokoro that I really like is the fact that you focus on the broadcast industry. So it just made things so easy. So if we want to do a white paper or just want to approach something, we just have a phone call, kind of like this, and you would interview me for 5, 10 minutes, write
Yeah,
down everything. And what's so great is because you're so focused on this industry, you know what a transport stream is, you know what SRT
exactly.
is.
Of
So you
course.
didn't have to spend all this time trying to explain what we do. You just already knew it. Uh,
True.
and it really made things so easy. So what was kind of behind the idea of focusing on the broadcast industry?
Yeah, well, since we're talking books, I'll throw this one out there. This is my dad's book,
Oh,
Memoirs of a
nice.
Broadcast Engineer. I don't know if you've seen this, Steve. I'll send one
I
to
don't
you.
think so.
Oh my gosh, it's so fun. So my dad and my mom both worked in broadcast, so I thought it was normal to hang out on remote trucks on the weekend at hockey games and run cables and learn new interesting vocabulary from the director and maybe go hang out in the control room, right before the news and all that kind of stuff. I just thought it was a normal thing that people did. Come to find out, not so much. Not everybody grew up doing that. So I ended up working for an equipment manufacturer. And when I started, it was just the guy that was the engineer doing all the work and me. And so I remember coming back from NAB and there was a grocery bag of here's the leads we have from the show. And so I started out just doing everything, testing equipment, ordering parts, creating a database, doing anything at all, taking calls, whatever it was. And so as that company grew, I kind of honed into uh, tech support, sales, marketing, that kind of thing.
That's good. So you basically actually just kind of grew up in the broadcast industry. So it's good.
I did, and it's super comfortable. And at this point, I feel like I'm a little bit serving my former self. So I get to work with you and other companies in this industry, I'm really doing the things that worked when I was there, or that I've discovered that worked, or that I wish someone would have done for me when I was, running the sales and marketing at a company.
Yes. Yes, that's kind of yeah, really yeah, kind of exciting. That kind of really to kind of take that um, from kind of your childhood and kind of really carry that all the way through your whole career.
Yeah,
Now, I'm sure you're aware that NAB is fast approaching. By the time we air this, we'll probably just be a week or so away. So by that time, I imagine most people will have bought any ads we're going to buy, send out their email blast. But is there any kind of tips you have for the last week or two before NAB that you can maybe try and do right before the show?
absolutely. So I was on a call this morning with somebody and a small company, and I just said, "Oh, hey," and Steve, you'll know this one. Have you already identified the top people you want to see at NAB? So the Dream 100, not an idea that I thought up, but an idea I read about in a book. And so the thought is if you go to the show and you only see these 100 people or only see these 20 people or whatever number it is, that you go, that was a great show. That was great. That was awesome. I loved it. So the question to everybody is, do you have that list of your 20, 50, 100 people? And if not, grab a coffee, just start thinking about it. Who are my top people? If you track your sales pipeline, write them down out of there. Look in your DMs, look in your LinkedIn, just get that list together. And then a question is, are you already connected with those folks on LinkedIn or not? And I'm gonna bet a lot of you will say, ooh, I should be, but I haven't. So that's one really easy, straightforward, and useful thing. It actually moves the needle. I like to make sure the marketing starts a sales conversation.
Right.
And this is one thing that will help. I'm happy to share another thing or two if you want.
Oh, sure. Great. Yeah, I mean, but
Okay.
that's a great one there. Just kind of, right before the show, if there's people you want to see, kind of send out a connect request on LinkedIn and see if you can kind of get the ball rolling and say, hey, by the way, I'm going to be at NAB next week. Stop by the booth. That sounds like a great idea. And we definitely would love to hear more.
Absolutely. Yeah. The Dream 100 thing's really cool because you can set up, between now and the show, just for example, you could pick four things that you're going to do. So send a connect request if you're not connected already. Shoot them a DM. You could mail them something, old school, snail mail if you want. So set up like a few things that you're going to do and just be helpful and give value instead of pitching. I think everybody wants, the whole what's in it for me, not me, but your
Right.
your customer. They care about them. And so if you can give them something they care about. So the next thing, can I share another thing?
Sure. Go ahead.
Okay. So the thought is if you can just write down, if you don't know already, the top three or four things that you solve for people. And just make a note of that because it's so easy to get to the show and just start pitching on the product that you have. Like we've all seen it. We've probably all done it. I've done it where you just
I'm
start
guilty. That's for
talking.
sure.
You're guilty. You've had that as
Oh,
well.
oh, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. And so just pivot a little bit to that, what's in it for me, and think about, okay, what are the top two or three or four things? And I know you're like, we solve 100 things. I know you do, but just go ahead and bring it to the top two or three or four. And if you really have that written down, then now you can think about, I'm going to do a post, for example, on LinkedIn or a quick 30-second video on each one of those things. Hey, I was talking to someone last week. They had this challenge. This is what happened. This is how it got solved. Boom. So make it really clear what you're solving. And then, of course, if someone's interested, they're like, oh, I see myself in that. I want to talk to them because I have that same issue. That's a good thing as well.
All right, yeah, definitely some things, you can really do right up to the last moment before the show. But now once we get to the show and it's that week and everything's crazy, what are some things you do there? Maybe draw traffic to your booth or just kind of how to handle your lead collection. Any good tips for the week of the show?
Oh, yeah, so many. I used to feel like I was reinventing the wheel every year when I'd go to the show and feeling like I'm working so hard, I'm reinventing everything, I'm doing it. And the fact is that if you have a system in place, you don't have to reinvent that wheel, you just change out the information on it. So, one thing you could do every year if you want to, this will just sound Captain Obvious, but people love it. Show a behind the scenes photo of setting up. I think you've done that, Steve.
Yeah, we've definitely done that before. Yeah, it's good. It's always, yeah, see the before and after and even along different stages as you're going along. And
Yeah. Did you when you did that? I don't know the answer. We didn't talk about this beforehand. Did you get any comments back or anything like that if you're like unpacking the booth or any stuff like that?
oh yeah, we definitely, people would comment, say, looking forward to seeing you at the show. And get some comments. Um, yeah, definitely. People give us some feedback on those. Yeah, so it's definitely a good idea there.
So that's an easy one, a small one, but you just gave the key. You got some engagement. So somebody says, looking forward to seeing you at the show, you can leave it there, or you can give them your calendar booking link, which hopefully you have set up, because back to those systems, having those set up. So I always have a booking link. It's just my name.com, takes you to a calendar for me. And I think you've got something like that too, Steve. So if someone says, see you at the show, you can leave it alone, Or you can say, "Ooh, can we set up a time? Because I definitely want to hear more about what you're doing, right? Or what you need," instead of, "I definitely want to give you my sales pitch." Meh, not as exciting.
Right.
Um, and so that gives you opportunity to engage with those people who comment back right away. Even if you got two comments and you're like, "Okay, those two people are awesome. I definitely want to talk to them." That's a good thing. So
Yeah.
that behind the scenes post is good.
Yeah,
Mm,
yeah, that's a great idea to kind of to really kind of respond to that and kind of give them your calendar so you can kind of keep that lead, warm and going and kind of really turn that into an actual meeting that you can actually see them at a particular time at the booth.
exactly. So I love those too because mine is set up to where someone gets an email and then they get a text reminder right before because you get to a show and people forget or they don't feel like booking meetings all the time. But if they do book it, we want them to come. And if they get a text and they can't make it because they're in the West Hall and you're in the not in the West Hall or vice versa, you're in the South Hall and they're in the West Hall, whatever it is, they can at least shoot you a text back. And so you still have that connection and engagement, which is super important because that's what we're looking for is to start a sales conversation and take it to the next
Yeah,
step.
yeah, great. And now that you've been at the show and you've collected all these great leads, what do you do with them when you get back home?
Oh yeah, okay. Uh, can I actually just jump back to the show for a
Oh,
second?
sure. Yeah,
Do
go
we have
ahead.
time? I don't want
Oh,
to be
no,
too much
there's
here.
no time on here, so we can
Okay,
go as long as
okay,
you want.
okay. All right. So another thing to do with the show that I think works really well is to have something that you can give to people. And so it's so easy at a show to be like, "Hey, can I scan your badge?" Not so exciting, but we all have done it and do it. Another way to talk with people is to say, "Oh, you're working on this particular project with this particular technology. I have a guide. I have a checklist. I have this really cool resource. Can I send it to you?" Yes,
Yeah,
please. I would love to have that. And so now we're giving and being of service, which I think is always amazing. And so if you've got a system in place to do that, it can be as simple as you're going to send that to everybody after the show by email, which we're doing the post show in a minute. Or during the show, you can have a QR code. You could have a text message. So you can text me the word. We can do this right now. Actually, if you text me the word seven, SEVEN, to my phone number,
right.
um, I'll give it to you for the show notes, but it's 1-530-203-5703. So if you text me that, it's going to say, "What's your email address?" and automatically send you a PDF that's a chapter of the book and some templates and some stuff that you can use. It's free. I want to give it to you. It's helpful. And we just started a sales conversation because that text message will follow up with, "Oh, hey, what's your top challenge?" Or if you want to chat about something, just let me know. So now, you can give something to somebody and start a conversation via service. It's way more compelling than, "Can I scan your
Right.
badge?"
Yeah, it's always much more interesting when you can actually offer them something that's of value to them. So,
Yeah. So I love that for the show. And then, of course, think about your partners. So you've probably already thought about this already, but if you can think of a top two or three or four other companies, partners that you're working with where you can help each other, such a good thing, right? And so you know that if someone comes in asking about this particular thing, you're already teed up to, "Oh, hey, let me have you talk with so and so." And then you have that going the other direction as well, so you can help each other out. So think about partners that could be your sales channels, other companies, that kind of thing. Sometimes we take it for granted and are like, "Oh, our sales reps will remember to do that." Some will remember. 20% will remember and 80% will not. So 80-20 rule on that one. So you want to focus in on the 20% of sales reps that bring you the most business and make sure they remember. And it doesn't hurt to remind the other 80%
right.
as well.
Definitely. All right, that's some great ideas. Any other thoughts or ideas you have about how to get the most out of NAB?
Oh, you asked about follow-up. And so I could share a couple things on that if you want.
Sure. Yeah,
All
that'd
right.
be great. Yeah. Yeah. Once
Okay.
you have all those leads, you want to, do something with them.
I feel like lead follow-up is like the most neglected thing. You spend how much going to a show on if you're getting off on the low side, it's 40 grand. And if you're, 100, 200, whatever, more on just being there. And so then the sad story, of course, is we went to the show, we got these leads, and we followed up with them once or twice, or we gave them to the salespeople and we don't know what happened. So if any of that resonates with you at all, you can change it, right? You can change this. And so one of the main thing I would say is have a plan. Any plan does not need to be difficult. The plan may be I'm going to send an email from the show floor every day and have it all teed up. We'd have it written before you go to the show. Hey, great to see you at the show. And at the show, have a picture of you and your team on the booth or just some picture so they remember and go, ah, that's Steve guy. I liked him. Yes, we want them to recognize. And then maybe have a couple helpful links in there. Hey, here's a link to this, and talk with you after the show. Happy Vegas. So, like short, sweet, photo, helpful links. You can have that teed up so it goes out every day at the end of the show, for example. And all you have to do is put the people into your cool, not expensive, super affordable marketing automation system, hit a button, and it's going to go out to them. You could even do it more frequently. So, have that as a plan. Secondly, have a plan to connect with everybody on LinkedIn. So anybody who's a key person in the company should be connecting with those folks on LinkedIn. You can do that manually. There's automated ways to do that where you can do list enrichment that grabs the URL of the LinkedIn person and then you can connect. So those kinds of things. And then maybe think about the top two, three, four questions you got at the show and have a plan to have three emails and three blog posts and three LinkedIn posts or whatever it is come out after hitting each one of those three main topics. And then obvious, make sure you have a really clear idea about why you're at the show versus why your customers at the show and make an easy next step for them. Is the next step, hey, can we get on a call next week? Hey, can we download a demo? Hey, do you want to do a POC? Whatever the thing is, have an idea about what you hope the next step is that will be beneficial to them. So I know that was kind of a laundry list, but
Oh no, that
pick
but
and
those are a
choose.
lot of really great ideas. 'Cause I know we're guilty of not taking full advantage of all the opportunities in AB because you're out there and then you get back and you're just tied in so many different directions and just some of these things you don't do and you kind of miss some of those opportunities. So these are some really great ideas of how you can really take advantage of all the amazing opportunities that come about from NAB, where you have everybody you want to see all in one place, but really want to follow up on that when you get back.
Oh my gosh, and you just mentioned everybody all in one place, but we all know there's a ton of people that don't go to the show who you want to connect with. You can make some special event for them. You could have I'm going to bring NAB to you. Let me know. Like you can do all sorts of cool stuff around the people who don't go as well, so that you're reaching out and meeting with people regardless of if they attend or not.
And that's actually a great idea of almost maybe have like a webinar when you get back for like, hey, for anybody who didn't make it NAB, here we're having this webinar. So can, find out about what we're doing here at D2D or whatever company you're at. And that's a really good
Top
idea.
questions.
Yeah,
Top
that'd
questions
be
that came up. People love a top questions, and those kinds of things. Top new technologies, that kind of stuff.
yeah, I think I have the idea for our next webinar right after NAB of like here's the biggest questions we had from NAB. And so
It's seriously, you got to do it, Steve. Let me know. You got to call
oh
me
yeah.
after and let me know
No,
how
no,
that
no,
goes.
definitely. I'll definitely you know another great idea from Cindy at Kokoro. We're doing a webinar based on the top three questions and we got from NABs. So
Yes.
yeah, that's a great idea. So also one of the things we like to do here on the DDD show is not only learn about these interesting things about best way to do marketing and take advantage of NAB, but we also like to learn a little bit about the person behind the idea. So one thing I was just kind of curious. So I'd say what's been like the the most rewarding aspect of your career in marketing in the broadcast industry?
Hmm. I guess so. When I left the manufacturer I was at and started Kokoro Marketing, it was probably a year or so into it when I finally got the idea about doing that book. And I guess what was rewarding about that was it made me go through the process of like, how are we actually helping people? And to get clear about what's helpful, and then to be able to write that down and give that to people. So if I talk to somebody, I really like helping and being of service. And so for me, it's really nice to see somebody succeed, whether they're working with us as a client with our team or whether they're not and they still have success. And so I don't know if it just sounds corny, but I love that I can pass something to someone and help them. I'm kind of into it. And the name of my company, Kokoro, Kokoro means heart, mind, and spirit. And
Ah,
so,
nice.
yeah, did we never talk
That's
about
very
that?
fitting for you.
Oh, I just love the idea that, like, of course, we have to understand what our customers, what our clients care about in their heart, or we can't even talk to them. And it's a little bit sales 101, like, what do they care about? But I'm all about that. So I guess that's rewarding to me is whether someone decides to work with us, and we help them on an ongoing basis, or whether we just have a chat and they grab a free chapter of my book. I actually am super happy about that because I like sharing stuff.
That's great. I definitely yeah, have that same feeling too. Really enjoy that that aspect of helping our customers kind of achieve what they're trying to do, where it's like a really win-win situation for everybody is what things we always try and look for.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
Also, just kind of curious, is there anything that you maybe want to share with everyone that people may not know about you? Maybe a favorite hobby or passion that, yeah.
I'm gonna give two answers because
Okay.
one's a little industry-ish, just because I don't know, it seems in line with what we're talking about, and then I'll think of something else to share because why not?
Yeah,
So I
that's why
really
because all this is really about relationships. So it's
exactly.
always love learning. What are people like outside the
What are they
industry?
like outside?
Yeah.
Uh, I recently have been working with AMWA, which is super interesting and rewarding for me. So AMWA.TV. And I like that because I get to learn about NMOS and just different things in the industry. So working with an industry association is super interesting to me and all the people. I like that a lot. I also work, as I mentioned to you right before, the Veterans TV nonprofit, which helps veterans learn how to do live television production. Super fun. So that's those are two things that I just thought I'd bring up. But I think you were asking something more like, I really love cross country skiing.
You're right. Yeah, I guess.
I think that's probably more what you were going for. And I got out there right after NAB last year, and I was like, it was so great. And then I'm at the top of the mountain, right, where at Royal Gorge, and I'm looking out, and this person comes up behind me and goes, "Can you take my picture?" And I reached over to grab their camera, and I fell
Oh
and
no.
hurt my knee.
Oh no.
So I haven't been out yet this year, but I did, I've been just doing Pilates and walks. And here in Grass Valley, the Yuba River is gorgeous. And so going to the river and hanging out outside, it's a thing. We had snow this morning. Beautiful.
Oh, nice. Yeah. So I really like that being outdoors nature. I imagine when you're doing the cross country skiing, there must be some just beautiful sights out there when you're doing
So
that.
good. So good. I'm such a fan because I love my technology. And then also, I love to just get out in the trees and hang out and rejuvenate and be out in the world there
Yeah, kind of just sort of relax, rewind, kind of, that's,
so
yeah, I
much.
definitely enjoy doing that as well. Also, I would just like to, really enjoyed having you on the show here. And also as a thank you for coming on here. If you like, take these last couple minutes, is there anything you'd like to promote?
Oh gosh. Well, I mentioned about my book, which I would love to share with everybody, so I'll give you that for the show notes. I just got off a call this morning where it was super interesting, and we offer these AI phone call answering like setup that's super cool. And so if I don't know if this is interesting for your business or any business, but if you're like worried about missing calls after hours, we have this cool setup and it's super inexpensive where when someone calls in, it's a little AI voice, it'll answer some questions, and then you get like an automatic notification and a transcript of it. And we've been doing a whole bunch of that. And so knowing that I was going to be on with you today, right before this, I set up a little info on it. And so if somebody wants that, just to find out about it, because I just think it's so cool, they could text me AIBIZ, AIBIZ at that same phone number, and it'll just send you a little info and you can try a demo. Like, no pressure. I just think using technology to our advantage so that we can be humans and interact is such a good thing. And we've got these automated systems set up to like support in the background so that when we can like get together like this, it's all the better. So the text the AI biz to 1-530-203-5703. And that's pretty fun. I'd love to share that
I'm not sure.
too.
Is that kind of the best, like if somebody's interested in using your services, would that be the best way for them to contact you?
Yeah, you can contact me there. You can connect with me on LinkedIn. Of course, our website, kokoroinc.com. And yeah, just glad to connect anywhere. See you at NAB for sure. We
Oh
can
yeah,
connect there too.
fantastic. Oh, definitely. And yeah, I would just like to say, as I was saying before, that at D2D we have used Kokoro services before, and Cindy and her team do a great job. And you need some help with your marketing, I highly recommend contacting Cindy. It's been great catching up with you, Cindy, and can't wait to see you just in a few weeks at NAB.
Sounds great, Steve. Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a great rest of the day.